Hi, I'm Andrew Kelly and welcome to the first episode of FC Business Solutions News. Last time you saw us, you would have read our magazine. This time, we're going online. We hope you enjoy the show. In this episode, we caught up with Mike McCarthy from the Barry Plant Group. We also caught up with Greg Pizzolo from the Gyms Group. But first, let's have a chat with Michael Sheedy to talk all things executive recruitment. Traditionally, Michael, executive recruitment agencies charge anywhere between 10 and 15% for recruitment. How does FC Business Solutions do it any differently?
Andrew, it's no different to any other of our projects. We look at how many hours it's going to take us to successfully fulfil the role, and then we will actually charge accordingly. So a set fee structure is the best way that we see being able to take this further. Michael,
thanks for talking to us about executive recruitment. Don't go away. We'll talk to you a little bit later about business development.
Thanks, Andrew.
We're now joined by Mike McCarthy from the Barry Plant Group. FC Business Solutions has been working with Barry Plant for the past 4 years. Mike, how did we get involved with the Barry Plant Group?
Well, truth, Andrew, we've been struggling with our PR strategy for some time. We've been getting a little bit of PR, but it hadn't been particularly good, hadn't been getting a lot of traction. We noticed an email flyer that you sent out, and we had a previous business relationship, of course, with FC going way back. And it was specifically on PR, it was a PR workshop that you were running. So we decided to come along to that and have a look and see what you guys had on offer. I think it was relatively new for FC at the time. And we were very impressed by you and your Shane Warne wig and the sun cream that you had on at the time. It was a good look. And but I mean, quite seriously, behind that, we could see there was some real thought behind the PR strategy. So that's what really got the relationship rolling, was that workshop, and it's been going from strength to strength ever since then.
So what is the strategy, I guess, of the Barry Plant Group in terms of public relations? What did you want to achieve?
Sure. I guess for us there were probably 2 or 3 major strategies that we wanted out of it. One was to improve our profile in the industry. We've, over the last decade or so, we've become the largest group in Melbourne, but it wasn't a story that we'd been telling particularly well. Second thing was to provide more PR material, if you like, for our franchisees, for their local use, their local marketing. And one of the other key objectives was to raise the profile of the group within the industry. We wanted to get to specific parts of the industry to let them know that, hey, we're actually the major player here in Melbourne now, because a lot of the industry didn't know that, and we were a pretty well kept secret at that point. So I think they were the main strategies we were trying to achieve there.
And Mike, how has FC Business Solutions strategised to make that happen, to achieve some of those things for you?
Sure. It's been extremely collaborative, no question about that. I think over the last nearly 4 years now, you and I have worked closely together along with our teams, and we sat down at the end of the first year and said, okay, how can we improve that? What can we do to get the results we want? Because we knew we had the material, we knew we had the stories there.
Yeah, we did.
It was a question of how do we extract those stories, and I think one of the challenges for us as a franchise organisation is dealing with our franchisees, is that they are so busy day to day doing the stuff that they do. Now, we know there's a lot of good stories out there. We know they sell interesting houses, we know they get great results, we know there's good human stories in there, and we knew that our market figures were improving a lot along the way. So I think one of the challenges that you and I worked on was saying, well, how do we get that out of them? Because that is a real challenge. And we came down to some really basic stuff that we put in place. And that was a very collaborative approach, and I think that's worked pretty well in the last year or so.
And tangible results?
In terms of the value of the space and the exposure that we get, though, I mean, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's stuff that we could never have bought ourselves, we couldn't afford it. But when you get those column centimetres or that little grab on Real Estate Business in their email blast and so on, they're things that we couldn't afford to pay for. So the value, the free value, if you like, we're getting out of that has been tremendous. Now, what that relates to in absolute dollar terms, I guess it's hard to say because it's part of the total mix, but there's no doubt it's been a really important contributor to our success in the last year or so.
Mike, it's been a fantastic journey so far. Let's hope there's a few more years in it.
I'm sure there are.
Thanks for joining us on FC Business Solutions News.
No worries, thanks Andrew.
We're here with Greg Pizzolo from Gyms Group. Greg, how long have you been working with FC Business Solutions?
We've been with FC just over 4 years now, Andrew, and thanks for the opportunity. We've been doing a variety of things, for example, conferences. You've actually just recently done a few of our conferences, which actually takes a lot of pressure off myself, organising conferences for the last 15 years with gyms. We've started doing training. We've just developed our training to a Cert 4 in business, and it's been fantastic to say the least, in the sense of how they've redeveloped our training sessions, how they've, I suppose, incorporated our information into something that's certified, which just, I suppose it just puts the difference between our business and other franchise groups around. PR, a lot of people know about Gyms Group. I suppose one of the things that we weren't good at was public relations. we didn't know how to get out and go and get public relations of good things that we're doing. And that's where you've helped us in that. And I suppose the last thing would be our newsletters to our clients. We've got about 280,000 clients on any given day, and you've developed, I think they're bi-monthly newsletters that you've been doing every time, so they've been great.
Yeah, they have. Really getting out into the gyms group community, and it's been fantastic for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, listen, it has. And it was funny, I was just looking at the statistics, and every business or franchise group that we have an article in that newsletter, and we only pick about 5. Every time we see a spike in their clicks on their websites. So it's been fantastic.
Tell us a little bit more about the training. How specific has FC Business Solutions been in redeveloping your training?
Yeah, it's been probably 6 months in the making. Basically what happened was myself and Kim have sat down. She spent a lot of time in our existing training session. We're good at what we do, but we wanted to formalise it a lot more and also offer a certificate to our franchisees at the end of it.
Greg Pizzolo, thanks very much for joining us on FC Business Solutions News.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Fantastic to hear from Greg Pizzolo, the Gyms Group. They're really doing some exciting things in their system, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're an exciting organisation, no doubt about that. Michael, business development. FC Business Solutions has grown dramatically over the last couple of years, offers a number of services to the sector. Yep. Where are you getting the inquiries from?
Andrew, it's largely been around new system. And the positive thing about that, Andrew, is that we're seeing franchising as a real vehicle for these startups in order to grow. So they're using franchising as their model to develop.
New players in the space is always good to see, Michael. What about the middle of the road franchisors who have got the 20 to 40 franchises, and then the big end of town where you've got 80 plus?
Andrew, we've been able to develop a health check system which is largely revolved around working with a franchisor, seeing what they want to achieve going forward, and then us actually being in their business and working with them on a report across all facets of their business in order to then provide them with analysis and then recommendations which will then see them achieve their objective.
I agree with you, Michael. What we're delivering is a whole lot of recommendations in a major report, but what we're able to do is to be able to deliver on those recommendations, whether it be the services that we provide at FC Business Solutions or third-party suppliers that we're able to introduce to that franchise organisation to help them grow. Thanks, Michael. That concludes the May edition of FC Business Solutions News. We look forward to your company again next month as we showcase franchisors talking about real stories in franchising. We look forward to your company then.